Okay, and welcome to FPL FaF. Another game week has gone by. Game week 3. Game week 3 up and coming now. Yeah, welcome. I'm John. Obviously joined by Jay and James again. Welcome, guys.
Hello, lad.
Another another video up. Another 10 views coming our way. Okay, so agenda. So basically, we're just gonna run through, have a rundown of our teams, the highs and lows, thoughts on the game week as well, something you didn't expect, and then our three standout players, plus what you're thinking for this up and coming game week, and we'll finish with a golden pick again if money wasn't an object. So rundown of our teams. James, you can kick us off.
Yeah, decent enough. 72 points. It was all right. I'll take it. I think the highs were, well, Jesus obviously, proved that he can carry his preseason form into the Prem and smash it. So yeah, can't argue with that. But everyone has him, so it didn't feel like a huge win. I think Martinelli felt like more of a win. He's coming again with a return. Obviously, his ownership's going up, but I'm pleased. I got in there early with him. I've got him at 6 mil, so another 8 points was nice. And then my two other highs were Cancelo justifying his price tag as a defender with 11 points was really nice. Because I've been thinking, I should have just started with Walker, which I'm still partly thinking, but 11 points compared to what 6 Walker probably got, that's a nice 5-point upgrade. And then Reece James getting a goal, I was really pleased with. Again, just justifying why he's such a good option. They were my highs. And then lows, Neto again blanking. He's looking all right, but, if he keeps blanking, I'll be thinking I should have started with someone more reliable. And then the other two lows were Haaland captain. So I started with Kane instead of Haaland, and Haaland did better. Then I went to Haaland, and Kane did better. So that's been a bit annoying, but at least he got an assist. And then the final low I wanted to note was Liverpool's defence. I've got Robertson and Trent 2 weeks in a row, no clean sheet. Particularly Robertson, I'm sort of disappointed by, like, it was him or Diaz at the start of the season, and I'm currently, obviously Diaz is proving that he's done better so far. But yeah, that's my thoughts overall from the game week for my team.
Brilliant. Yeah, thanks.
Right, me finished on 76 points, not too bad.
Wait, decent. How many points did you get, James?
72.
72, nice.
Yeah, close. So I'll start with the lows. The only lows I had were Zinchenko, who just got 1 point, Salah got 2, and Bailey got 1 again. So, they're the three worst ones. But I'll start from the back. Sanchez in goal. Trent, I suppose he only got 3 points, but Trippier, James, Cancelo, both on 7, 11 points. So it was quite good at the back. And just with James, he started off right centre back. Obviously, he can play there, but as soon as he went to right wing back, instantly he scored a goal. He almost got an assist as well. Also, with that, he's taken the most corners and provided the most crosses so far this season. So he's essential as a right wing back. He just needs to be there, doesn't he? And then obviously Diaz, I've been bigging him up for quite a while. Especially that last 20 minutes at Palace, he was just mental. He was ridiculous.
And then had more goals. I didn't see a lot of the football this weekend.
It was quite hard. Darwin really should have been the one putting goals away. We played 5 at the back as a flat back 5, so it was quite hard, for people to kind of get through in that. But Darwin, he definitely could have had a hat trick, but we can speak about that whenever. Jesus, obviously, and Haaland, who are captained. So, yeah, overall, not too bad. I was annoyed because I think we've all seen that Foden miss where he could have just passed it to Haaland.
I know. Yeah. I think that's the thing as well that I'm really trying to tell myself about this Haaland week. Like, I'm a little bit annoyed. Like, so just to go through my team, basically. Jesus was probably. I suppose you just reminded me of Cancelo as well, um, like returning as well. But it really feels like Jesus and Cancelo was like my only point outlet this week. Like it feels like,
Mm.
um, yeah, just feels like nothing's wrong. I really struggled to look at my team this week. I just because I knew it wasn't going well. And that being said, it's funny, isn't it? Because it's only at 20. It's only 20 points. I finished with 50, 56 or 57 points,
Not
and that's
awful.
only 20 points off. And at this stage of the season, like it's absolutely fine. And when I was planning this whole next game week, I was like, man, like my team is so good. Like, come on, like that is not a bad team on paper. So yeah, it's certainly not time to panic, but it was. I didn't look at any mini leagues, anything, because I just know what it's going to be saying right now. So yeah, Jesus only real outlet plus Cancelo. Then yeah, obviously bought Haaland and Kulu in, I think like there's the part of me that just is like quite reactionary, that's quite annoyed that I didn't go with my previous plan to bring in KDB for Son, which was a straight swap. But at the same time, I'm so glad I'm on Haaland because one, if Foden passes that what you just said, then he gets a goal and an assist, and no one's talking about it. Like
Yeah.
everyone's actually over the moon. To be honest, he probably gets three bonus points because
Mm.
attackers get more bonus points for goals. Um, and then and I just all I can keep telling myself the other two things as well is that Haaland is on the template, so you need him if you want to be up there like fighting right now. And
Mm.
two, like every single time City get a penalty, if you're a KDB owner, you are going to be so pissed off because
That's a
it's
good
going to be
point.
Haaland who puts the ball in the back of the net, who's
Yeah.
getting all the points, and I, I don't know how many penalties KDB wins, but I'd imagine it's going to be more your Mahrez, Fodens who are going to be winning
Hmm.
that. But I don't know what you guys think on the KDB versus Haaland right now after 2 game weeks.
Well, I think he's already won a penalty, Haaland, and he already put it away, didn't he? It's a very good penalty. So he would definitely be on penalties. I just think with De Bruyne, it's just the creativity and his passing ability. He's going to get so many assists, and we know how good his shot is as well. But regarding penalties, it's most likely going to be the front three getting them. So I do kind of agree with you, but I don't think it's ever a bad thing to have De Bruyne in.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
the fact that Haaland's on penalties, if you just want one of them, he's probably got to go with Haaland, no?
Mm. Yeah. Depends. What you just see, guys said there. Depends is a big thing, isn't it? I think. I mean, Beth proved this week, captain KDB. She rakes in 90 points. Like he's a reliable pick. Like I mentioned. Well, I'm actually thinking this. I'm considering going back to Kane for 2 weeks from Haaland, which I know feels risky, but I feel like his fixtures are better. Wolves at home, Forest away, as opposed to I think City away to Newcastle. I can't see them scoring loads in that. Well, it's City. Wouldn't surprise me if they did, but Newcastle are solid at St James's Park. Then home to Palace, who Palace just proven solid defensively, won't be easy for City. But then because Kane plays Fulham in game week 7, I wouldn't want to then flip flop again. I'm tempted to then have De Bruyne in for game week 5. And I think I mentioned this in the chat that it came up on a podcast watch recently because that's a midweek game week 5 at home to Forest. Everyone's saying, Haaland v Forest. And yeah, if he starts and plays, he could kill it. And I'd be worried about that. But midweek game, they're still trying to manage him with his fitness. There's likes of Alvarez on the bench they want to give minutes to. Wouldn't surprise me if Haaland had his minutes cut short in that game. De Bruyne is going to play, start the game. Maybe, probably he'll play the 90 minutes. I don't feel too upset about having KDB in for game week 5 ahead of Haaland. And taking a chance on Haaland not returning the next 2 weeks could completely kill me. But weighing it up, I don't think it is the biggest gamble in the world. As proven against Bournemouth, he got 1 assist, which we all thought he was going to murder us. So, they're my thoughts.
Really interesting. I mean, it's a lot of banking transfers in advance, but
it is.
like
Yeah.
two things I would say. Wall, like I was banging the drum a bit about like how lucky Wolves were last season, going on the data. But earlier on Black Box, they said Wolves' defensive data is actually like outstanding right now, but they haven't played anyone like really that special yet. And two, Dean Henderson is the second best keeper on a load of stats in the Prem as well. But obviously he's conceded goals. But well, he didn't concede against West Ham. But yeah, so I guess they're two things just to like play devil's advocate to it. But I do think that's quite an interesting shout. The other one as well. I mean, we're kind of going off topic a bit, but the other one as well is are any of you tempted to get rid of Salah? Because that's the other thing that's slowly creeping in.
This actually comes up in one of the points that in a minute I was going to mention, but
same, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, okay, just to wrap up, yeah, like I mean, yeah, my team is called Saka potatoes, and it's literally a sack of shit right now. So yeah, there's nothing more to cover on that. Yeah, and the transfers come later. And yeah, so thoughts on this game week as a whole, and yeah, something you didn't expect, or a load of things, because I've written a few things.
Jay?
Right, so first of all, I think shout out to Brentford for that.
What?
That was
just so much entertainment.
Fair play. That was amazing. What a result that was. So I know United aren't good right now, but you don't really expect that, especially I think it was 4-0 in about 34 minutes or something. So it was ridiculous. So fair play to them. They're looking pretty good, Brentford, aren't they? They're looking solid, aggressive. You know, it's a fair play. And then Palace Liverpool away at Anfield. You know, Liverpool being Liverpool. Salah loves a goal against Palace. Getting a draw was great. So they're really the two things that stood out for me. That really I didn't expect. I didn't expect us to get a point, and I didn't expect Brentford to absolutely destroy United. So
yeah, I was exactly the same, to be honest. Even though we expect United to get spanked because of the way they're playing, I still couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like it's more like another time they've been embarrassed. It just baffles me. I'm like, when's this going to stop? Like it's hilarious as someone that isn't, you know, people that aren't United fans, but just I don't know, which makes you think, you know, again, Liverpool going to United this week. It's a tough one because, as Jay said, my second one was the Liverpool 1-1 Palace. Another week they've drawn, another week they've dropped points, only one goal. Salah was not looking like a £13 million asset. Before the game week, I was thinking, particularly after the Brentford result, like we're going into that United game, Salah captain, you'd be brave not to captain the guy against the wounded United. But that Palace game really didn't convince me, like about Salah, about Liverpool. Diaz had to produce absolute wonders to get them back in it at 1-1. And what a goal. Yeah, I was watching it and I just, fair play to the guy. But man, it's put a spanner in the works for me. I still don't think it means Salah doesn't turn up and score a hat-trick at United, because it's the sort of thing he'll do. But I don't know. I'm not going in with as much confidence now because of that game.
I think the massive thing on that, like you saying, like Liverpool just aren't looking themselves. I didn't actually see the game. I only saw the highlights. But like the midfield of James Milner.
And Fabinho and Keita, wasn't it?
No,
it was Harvey Elliott. Yeah,
Harvey Elliott, So, like,
That was,
I mean, Harvey Elliott is quite an exciting player, but James Milner being in any midfield is not going to get me excited, like
No.
to start. But I mean, it's still Liverpool. Like, there was someone who was putting a case together that Man United are going to be up for this, and like, I just can't. Like, surely, like, okay, we've seen Liverpool have two bad games, and we all said that they're going to come out guns blazing against Palace, and they didn't. But like,
Mm.
surely, like, how can they? How can they not? Like, they just got absolutely battered by Brentford, who are high pressing. When you're talking about the
Mm.
best high pressing team in the world going there now, like, I mean,
Yeah.
and their rivals, like, surely I can't see anything other than a Liverpool 4 goals minimum, surely.
I totally get what you're saying. Like after the Fulham game, Liverpool Fulham, I really expected, it was a comfortable 3-4-0 for Liverpool. But obviously Vieira set Palace up very defensively compact and difficult. But can they play like that 3 weeks on a trot? Like I didn't expect it after one poor performance against Fulham. Although respect to Fulham because they made it difficult for Liverpool. So then that's Fulham and then Palace. Can they play again like that against United? Like, what is the possibility? Surely not. When was the last time over the last few years that they've had 3 games where they've been bang average, mediocre, or poor, whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, like that's what I'm thinking.
It's a difficult one because
Mm.
it's the captain pick, as James said. It's really a difficult one. If we don't captain him, or if I don't, he will probably score a hat trick or something stupid. Just as you said, it's whether you want to, I don't know, just be safer because most people will because of the
Yeah.
performance of United versus Brentford. I can't see United winning. At most, I see them getting a point, but I don't even see them getting a point. It's just
And I
it's a,
I did see like
Yeah.
Salah have a good chance against Palace on the highlights as well, like right in the first couple of minutes, I think.
I'm trying to remember that
Yeah.
first that first half. They did batter us, to be fair. As I just always remember Darwin Nunes
Yeah.
missing and missing again, and I'm just like, oh my life, this guy's a joke. I don't mean it horribly, but he can't control the ball. He's not a finisher. He fluffs a lot. Clearly
No.
gets well. So that's interesting because I think a lot of people are going to do that now. So he's going to have to learn to kind of just accept it because people will target him now. Um, and he kind of put me off him, but I thought after a little while, I'll definitely throw him in because he will score some goals. But if he's going to get wound up by people pushing him about a bit and stuff like that, as well as having a poor control and not finishing these good opportunities, it's a bit of a concern, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I'd say a quick bonus point on that. As we're talking, the whole game they were looking to Darwin like to get the goal, get him the goal, get Darwin goals, and he was in the right positions, couldn't hit a barn door. But with him out of the team now, suspended, if they're playing Bobby Firmino at centre forward, that's a different game, isn't it? That's a different strategy. That's where the likes of Salah will be way more sort of involved in those main chances. So even just as we're talking, I'm thinking that does increase Salah's likelihood of banging in goals at United than if Darwin was there.
Is Firmino definitely not injured now? Because I think weren't him and Jota injured or coming back from injury? Is that right, or am I wrong?
Good shout. Jota was out. I don't know about Firmino.
Firmino's fine. Yeah, I think he just went off early against Fulham, and
Oh,
then
okay.
we haven't
Good
seen
point.
him since. But yeah. James, did you have anything to add as well on some like thoughts on the weekend?
Not really. It's just we'll maybe come back to the Salah thing, but the 5 mil saving on Salah to Diaz, like, yeah, it's looking like not a bad play if you
5
started with that. Yeah, it's a lot of money to do a lot with. So yeah, I think the United game will say a lot on that. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had a few things that I just jotted down quickly. First of all, like Jesus' first goal, like, oh my days, like, I think I might get a little bit more excited than the average person about that as an Arsenal fan, but like I just didn't expect it. I was like watching the highlights, thinking he's going to have a couple of tap-ins, and I was like, what have I just watched? Like, if that's what we're in for the rest of the season as FPL owners and an Arsenal fan, then like, oh my days. And then obviously the rest of the game, he was just on fire. Like he should have had easy had 4 goals. Like he missed two really good opportunities as well. So yeah, I mean this week I just didn't expect it at all from Jesus. I've been downplaying it. I didn't expect I didn't expect the goals that everyone else expected from him, and I think this weekend he's proved me right. But then also those 2 chances that he did miss for the hat trick, I kind of feel like, oh, like is that also what he's going to be though? I don't, you can't complain, but I'm just I'm just voicing a lot of what I'm thinking. Yeah, I was surprised how good Chelsea looked, to be honest. I know we've had quite a lot of chat about Chelsea on group chats, but I genuinely didn't expect them to play nearly that well. Like they
That
whipped
was
the ball around so nicely, and Cucurella looks like I think Cucurella looks like what Tuchel wants. Because if you remember last season, Tuchel just did not play Chilwell for ages. And then he kind of eventually got forced into playing him because he kept doing well off the bench. And I feel like he just doesn't want Chilwell. He doesn't want that player blistering down the wing. He wants a creator. So I think Cucurella just fits into that team really nicely. But sorry, Jay, what were you going to say?
I just said that the aggression that they had early on for the whole game, fair play to them because I did not expect that.
Intense.
They made Spurs look really, really average, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Just they
and
can they? Who you know? That's going to be there.
Yeah. It really is, yeah.
And Cucurella, he was on the corners on the left side, and he got the assist for Koulibaly, didn't he? So
he actually took he put a few balls in the box from free kicks as well. So that kind of surprised me because I thought that was all James, but it's nice to see that there's definitely a bit of variety and it's not going to be just James as a non-James owner. And then the other thing as well, which didn't isn't necessarily something I didn't expect, but yeah, again, it's the Chelsea defenders getting the goals, and a Spurs wing back yet again getting another return. Like I just think like those are clearly 2 things that we need to take well note of. Like again, another season of Chelsea defenders getting the goals and returns, and the Conte wing backs returning again. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have got any last thoughts before we move
on. Not from the game week. No.
I agree with you. Koulibaly looked class as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did actually. Yeah, man, that goal as well, such a good goal.
He's so solid at the back, and that volley for centre back,
class,
ridiculous.
Okay, so yeah, your 3 standout players to you guys this week, James.
Well, I put Jesus down. I was going to ask you about even as a captain shout at Bournemouth after his performance. So I had him down as one. Ivan Toney, sorry. Man, Brentford's fixtures run. He's got returns in their first 2 games. He's on penalties. Like, I really want him, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I was really considering getting him in.
Downgrading Salah.
No, downgrading Haaland to Toney, and then upgrading like Neto to Sterling or something like that. But I don't think I'm going to now. But like, because I just say, I mean, I'll chuck out Sterling briefly as a bonus one, but like him at Leeds, it's the sort of game he does well in. So yeah, I'm sort of looking at them, and then I mean, Gundogan was my third one I had on the list. but I wouldn't want him the next couple of weeks. But he's one to watch because he's getting forward quite a lot in midfield. If he is indeed nailed in that midfield with Bernardo, well, he was looking like he was going to leave it. I don't know the updates of that, but
Yeah, it sounds like it's all staying.
oh, okay. I think I think he's one to watch. But yeah, quick stat on Brentford because they got such juicy fixtures. Not a stat actually. It was a comment I saw on a video I was watching before this. Is a Brentford fan. He said, as a Brentford fan, people talking about Jensen, the £5 million man. And he said Jensen's not an option. Last week was his first goal since we came up, 33 games worth. And in general, he's not going to get you loads of points. And then he went on to say, Mbomo and Tony are the only two options I'd look at if you wanted Brentford assets. De Silva, he said, is a bench option. And then obviously, like, their defence could be good. But
you know, on that as well, just to tie in with that, De Silva's XG is 0.1 and he's got 2 goals. So like that shows you like he should not have got those goals. But just in the complete contrast, like I was listening to one podcast where they were saying De Silva was actually one of their best players on their year of promotion, and then he got a horrible injury, so we never saw him last season. So it could just be the new. But I mean, his goal last week, like you don't get much more lucky than that.
Yeah, you can't really you can't count that. So yeah, they're my main standouts really in a nutshell.
Yeah, I do really like the Gundogan shout. Like I know you're saying don't really fancy him for the next couple of fixtures, but I do. But both games he's been popping up and around, and I just think like he's a really dangerous asset. And like Pep is really difficult to read, but Gundogan got such a long run out in the team, and then the following like last season he was on the bench a lot for Bernardo Silva, and it feels like every season you just don't know like who's going to be favoured and for what reason. But I do think you're right. I think Gundogan could be a great shout with Haaland in the middle. Gundogan just popping up late in the box. And Tony as well. Yeah, I mean Brentford's fixtures are brilliant, but there's no way I could fit in a Tony. There's just no way I want to take any players out right now until I see another couple of game weeks.
Yeah, and then Mbuemo a bit cheaper. Like I had nightmares from him last season. I had him for a period of about 8 game weeks, and he didn't get one return.
Yeah,
and I know he had a great preseason. He started off well. He's playing up front. Like at 6 mil, I think he's tempting. But if I could stretch that extra mil for Tony, like you do it all day long, don't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, just with Remo from last season, I think he hit the woodwork like 7 times.
That's right. Yeah.
Inches either way, and that's 7 goals. You know?
It's true. It was frustrating.
So he must be a bit annoyed with that himself, but kind of, I think he is an option, but as you said, you can just save up an extra mil Tony all day long, really, as their attacking asset.
On pen.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, Jay.
Oh, yeah, so we've already spoke about them, really. So Jesus, obviously, he was great. I put Diaz in there, and then Gundogan was the other one. I think he's very underrated. Gets forward, he will score, he will assist. He's a very good player, but it's just when will he start? If Silva goes, that position's now down really. But if he isn't, then he's in and out of the team then again, isn't he? So it's real. I think he's he's a very good player.
Yeah. For me, again, Jesus, standout player without doubt. Rodrigo, that lead. Like, I'm not going to lie, that was also, going back to my game week, that was the most frustrating thing ever. I've got 2-0 leads on the predictor. Rodrigo gets 2 goals who I called at the start of the season. And then the one player I've got that actually matters in all of this is Melier, who has lets in 2 goals, throws away, and he doesn't even get any save points. Like, it was such a painful week, along with Matt Cash, who was all set for a clean sheet as well. and then Luca Digne decides to put it in his own net. Like, and then he goes off injured. Like, go off injured 2 minutes earlier, and I can get my clean sheet, man. Like, yeah. Anyway, so, but yeah, Rodrigo stand out, and then yeah, another like Reece James, man. Like he like as soon as he's in attacking, like I just knew as a non-owner, like as soon as he was wing back, you're like, oh, this is just, even though he's conceded a goal, he's still going to bloody get a return, isn't he? Like he just looked like it, and then what do you know? Who's completely open, no
Yeah,
players around, and then
like right forward.
and you know as well, like Reece James has been in that position enough to know he'll put it in the back of the net. Like he doesn't fluff it like some of these strikers that we've got. Yeah, and then I just add a fourth Darwin as well. Like I'm not gonna lie, as someone who wasn't watching the game and just saw the notifications at the end of the game, I was like, what? I was literally so like I was never gonna happen. But I so wanted him in my team last week, and oh my goodness, if you're someone who took a -4 to get him in,
Oh,
you would be so annoyed.
brutal.
Fuming.
Yeah. It's like Dennis last season when people put him in for hits to get a double game week out of him as a captain, and then he got sent off. Like I was lucky I had King instead, who did nothing, but at least he didn't get a double minus.
I think we both were, weren't we, Jay? Were you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I would
brutal.
not.
Mate, what a different season this is, though. We're talking about Dennis and King were like our only strikers for a lot of the season.
Yeah, it's true. Strikers are making a comeback.
Yeah, massive comeback. Okay. So yeah, we've got 6 minutes left, guys. So in a nutshell, what's your thinking for this week? And pretty much your transfers and captain.
Yeah, I'll be quick. Yeah, I'm thinking about the Kane, Haaland to Kane, as I've said already. I think the biggest thing I'm struggling with is who to captain. Do I captain? You know, if I bring in, I'm tempted to bring in Kane and just captain the guy. Also, it's the 12:30 Saturday kickoff. Like, I sort of just hope that he banks some points and I can just relax on captaincy for the rest of the weekend. Waiting until Monday to see Salah, like, I don't know if I had the patience for it to captain Salah. But
it's so difficult.
Jesus at Bournemouth is tempting, but I think he'll be my vice, unless I captain Kane and vice Salah. But real quick bonus side note on Salah. Apparently, there's a chance that the Liverpool Man United game could be postponed because Man United are planning a massive protest. Again, if Salah is your captain and you've got a vice, it doesn't matter too much because you'll have a vice captain. But yeah, there are my thoughts. I'm currently leaning towards punting for Kane and captaining the guy. So yeah, watch this space.
Yeah, with me, same issue with captaincy. Because of Jesus, it's for at the moment for me, it's between Jesus because they're playing Bournemouth, or Salah against United. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. That's going to be a last minute thing again. The only other thing with that was we kind of already hit on it earlier, but I'm really contemplating just taking Salah out for a little bit because of how much he's worth, you know. But I don't know because I'm sure if he's going to do anything, it's going to be against United. He's just going to bang. But they're my kind of dilemmas: is the captaincy, so Jesus, Salah, and whether to keep Salah just for one more week or not, or take him out before and just do something with that money. I don't know. They're my issues.
Right. Well, I've had a big week so far. I've got too much rot in this team, just getting me 1 point or not playing or coming off the bench for 90 seconds. So I've had to make drastic changes and take a -8. So Matty Cash gone. Leon Bailey gone. Although I do think Leon Bailey could still score this weekend, but he's gone. It's fine. I don't need your points off the bench. Who's the other? Doherty. Awful decision to bring him into my team. Doherty, you are gone. And I've taken the price falls in Matty Cash and Doherty by leaving it too late as well because I couldn't make up my mind whether taking a -8 was worth it. But
That's what,
so I had 0.5 left in the bank anyway. My ideal transfer would have been to get in Reece James, but I just couldn't stretch to it without just weakening my team. So instead, Martinelli up from Bailey, which is a massive upgrade. Martinelli looks so dangerous in our team right now, even though his XG is actually pretty low. But he is making a lot of runs through the centre of the pitch. So I think the goals are going to continue from him. Cucurella in for Matt Cash, like absolute no-brainer. I know there's a lot of talk about whether Cucurella is actually going to play, but I don't think they'd sign him for 63 million if they weren't going to play him. Like I get that as FPL fans, like we see the value in Chilwell, but I just don't think Tuchel is a fan of him.
He's not fit right now either.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there you go.
So short-term punt, Cucurella you're probably good for at least 2 to 4 weeks.
and I was going to say his performance last week. He
Yeah.
would stupid to drop him. He done nothing wrong. So
Exactly. And then final captaincy. So I'm really, there's probably only a 3% chance of me actually doing this, but I really was considering Saka, to be honest. Like Saka's still being really good. Like just because he's not and he's the most, well, maybe in all fairness to like Jesus and even like Zinchenko, they're up there. But like I think Saka is still the most intelligent player on our team. And like a team like Bournemouth, who are so strong defensively, it is going to be a Saka that really unlocks it. But it probably will be a Jesus or Martinelli who puts the ball in the net. So really, I'm probably just going to go vice captain Jesus and captain Salah. I just can't not captain Salah. But why on earth have they put this game on a Monday night? Like, why are they making us wait till Monday? Not even as FPL fans, as football fans. Like, I want to see this game, man.
Just for it to be cancelled with a protest. But yeah.
oh, yeah,
No, I don't think that would happen at all, to be honest.
No.
Just quickly, what's your one golden pick for this game week? If money wasn't a thing.
Yeah. Quickly, I'll say Jamie Vardy against Southampton because Leicester love battering Southampton. And then a couple of bonus stats. Maddison is looking to score or assist for a 7th match in a row, so he's tempting. And Harry Kane, if he scores at the weekend, he'll be the outright goal scorer for a single Premier League club. There you go. Next person, we've got 8 seconds.
Oh, I was just going to say it's got to be a Spurs player. So Kane, I would have gone for Kane against Wolves.
Cool. And yeah, for me, Reece James. They've got Leeds. Like I don't believe Chelsea's defense is amazing. I don't believe Leeds will hurt them. And even though I like Leeds, I don't think they're good enough to score against Chelsea. And I don't think Rodrigo is either. And I also think Reece James is going to get a return yet again, but I can't afford it, so that's how it is. Guys,
nice.
Great to be with you guys again. Thanks a lot.
See you next week.
Yeah, have a great week.
Fun. Cheers, guys.